Do y'all ever wonder why all these Republicans, who their companies make tons of profit from government contracts, ever since we started cracking down on white collar crime and started to be on the right side of history, all these Republicans sure became super anti-government. It's just odd that all these people who make fortunes off of our tax dollars want to destroy the very government that protects us from authoritarians. Is that not at all odd to you? Is it not odd to you that we have private military companies waging wars instead of countries nowadays? Isn't it odd that a man clearly with no physical prowess tries to claim that he's some sort of a master race? Does it shock you to find out that these MAGA Republicans have disdain for not only immigrants, but also just animals in general? They don't respect themselves. We all know the multinational corporations took a vice grip on our democracy in 2008. It's time to bust up those modern day monopolies just like we did back in the day and just move on with our fucking lives. If you vote for Trump, you're voting for the 1%, and the 1% wants to basically turn us into an autocracy. I get it. We may have a quasi-oligarchy now, and it's questionable if we have social democracy, but that's because of what these guys have done for the past 20-30 years. They've gone in and they've tried to systematically, bit by bit, detract away from our democracy and weaken it. And like Midas Touch has said, these MAGA corporatists and multinational corporations and foreign adversaries want our federal government to be declawed. They don't want our democracy or a superpower to have teeth anymore. Okay, there's like 300 plus million of us, and there's like 800 of them. So when it comes down to it, Trump is just supporting the billionaire class. And if you can't see through that, it's just because you have so much trauma. You've somehow been manipulated. They know that your trauma-addled brain is going to be susceptible to this. They know how you're going to react. They know how certain types of people are going to react. They've constantly run this play throughout history. They try to weaken the state, they try to blame scapegoats, and then they try to make you feel the pain of an economy, and then they promise a strong man will take care of everything. We've never had a strong man come in and do what's right for the people. They just do what's right for them. Look at Putin. He blew up buildings to get into power 20 years ago. He never fucking gave it up. Trump is just taking that blueprint. He's trying to create a false flag scenario where he can topple the United States federal government and replace it with a bunch of yes men and turn it into United States Inc. and then sell it to the highest bidder. He's already been renting it out to the highest bidder since 2016. I frankly don't care if I look like a fool right now. I'm speaking out because I care about you. And I have way too many women in my life to not take a stand here. MAGA doesn't want women and black people to vote. And if you aren't offended by their misogyny and racism, be offended by their fucking classism. Never mind the Christo-fascist theocracy that Trump and MAGA wants to usher in. They're fucking ushering straight up fucking hell. I don't know about you, but I don't want to leave rubble and ruin for my nephews, nieces. Motherfucker can't operate a firearm. He can't even put on makeup. He can't hold a fucking glass of water. He can't fucking walk down a ramp without fucking help. He can't get into a fucking truck without fucking stumbling. And you guys tell me this is the fucking quintessential male role model standing up for the last bastion of capitalism or whatever the fuck, free market? No, this isn't free market. They want to fucking own everything. You guys have heard this a fucking million times, but anything they say, anything a MAGA troll says to you in the comments, or anything that Trump says from the top down in the MAGA Republican Party, everything they say is tailored projection. They know they're doing it. They know we've called them on it in the past, so they're trying to get ahead of it in an optic to say that we're the ones doing the very thing that they're guilty of. Over and over and over. If it was just one time, I'd be like, whatever, human nature. But this is outright disingenuous, criminal, fraudulent behavior. You need to seek help. You need to speak with a doctor. You need to go to therapy. You need to start branching out, cease and desist all social media activity that you have. stop fucking engaging with the people who want to fucking destroy our country from inside, because that's who you're becoming. No man has to over and over try to convince people that he's the pinnacle of masculinity. Nobody will ever fucking convince me that that man is worth emulating. Trump is a coward's vision of what a man should be. And MAGA and the corporatists that empower them are nothing but sycophants. When Kamala wins, like, you'll notice that we're not fucking calling for fucking MAGA people to get thrown in concentration camps. Just watch. When Kamala wins, we're not going to be trying to put like all of MAGA in detention. We're not going to try to wipe them off this fucking earth. That's fucking insane. We didn't do it when Hillary lost. The only person that's done that is Trump. And I knew it from the beginning that guy would not give up power peacefully. He would not allow the transfer of power peacefully. I knew that from the fucking very beginning. I knew it from the look in his eye. And you guys don't think I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been right on most fucking everything. And I could tell the character of a fucking man. I don't need as much time as I've taken looking at Trump, watching Trump, analyzing Trump. I don't need all that to know the character of a man or to know the heart of a man. He is heartless. He has no empathy. I've listened to all the people, the closest people around him, what they've said, and they all say the same thing. And then he goes and says the opposite. So, come on. I've been ganged up on before, and it's not everybody that's saying it. You know, it's usually just a small handful of people that are trying to control that narrative. If you go ask enough people, you'll find that a lot of people don't agree with that tiny cabal of wannabe authoritarians. You'll find in Texas that these authoritarian type people will know this, and they go to try to control the narrative in courts before like the regular normal people get involved. And so they're just getting ahead of the game. They're trying to get into our local governments. They're trying to get in our court systems. They're trying to weasel into all the attorney positions, any sort of position of authority, law enforcement, military. They're trying to put these faux zealots in charge so they can actually run a successful coup later. They know they've lost. I mean, the numbers are ridiculous. They're fucking eye-popping. You know, nobody wants fascism. Fascism isn't popular. It never was, never will be. Authoritarianism sucks. Any young person is going to realize that. Any old person is going to help young people realize that. The only people standing up for this are people who are desperately obsessed with making profit, or they're mentally ill. And he's just basically gathered up a group of those folks, and they have enough resources to make a splash. It's going to be nowhere near the blue wave that we're going to see in a couple days. I believe that these people still will continue on when the Trump derangement, syndrome, goes away. And even once we're free from the Trump contagion, these folks are still going to go back into the holes where they came from. And keep in mind, they all have the same network, and they still have all the same connections. The only person that's going is going to be Trump and a handful of other people, but they still have a solid network with a lot of resources, and they've partnered with foreign adversaries. So you can expect they're going to be biting at our fucking ankles for the rest of our lives. Slava Ukraine. Just remember, no matter how much money these fuckfaces say they have, you can never buy class.